It's yours, Bernadette.
Okay, as far as the agenda, do you have it available, Jeremy?
Yeah, I'll bring it up. Hold on. You see that, Bernadette?
Excuse me. Jeez. I just lost my screen. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Okay. So are we starting? Are we starting to record?
Yeah, it's recording. Yes.
Okay, great.
It's live
Okay.
streaming and recording as a backup.
Okay. So we have introductions. Is that something that we usually have in the executive board meeting? Jeremy? I just need you to be present with this one, okay? Jeremy? Okay. All right.
Bernie, that introduction is you. Basically introduce, saying hello.
Oh, okay. Hi, Al. I didn't see you. You
How are you,
made it.
buddy? Hi.
Okay, great. So, yes. Good evening, everybody. This is your chair, Bernadette Ferrara. And I will just say this is my first executive board meeting, just so that everybody knows. And we are going to go ahead with the agenda. All right. What's on our agenda is a review of the meeting minutes. Veronica, I do not have the last meeting minutes. But
They were sent to the board. They just haven't had a chance to review them or upload them yet.
okay. Okay, so we can't, yeah, so we're not going to be able to review. So next on our agenda is assisting and supporting the community boards. There were just a couple of issues, but I know that we do have the gallery session. So I'm wondering, after a previous discussion, if we might have the gallery session speak, and what I would like to do is make a motion to go into executive session. So within this meeting, that is something that I had requested. And but I don't want to do that before the gallery session speaks. So I'm kind of going out of sequence. So Jeremy, are we able to go into executive session after the gallery speaks?
Yeah, but you might want to, I mean, shouldn't we cover our business first and then do that?
Okay. So as far as with assisting and supporting community boards, do you want to, Jeremy, did you want to bring up some of the items?
So hold on, let me go to the handbook. About governance handbook. So, but this is the executive session or item, right? I mean, it's easier probably to handle the well, these are both arguably executive session items because the attendance issue, I was going to say, is easier to handle that. The attendance issue is so the reason we can go into executive sessions, if everybody can see, the open meetings law requires all means of public displays be open to the public, but we can close the meeting to the public for these 5 reasons, and especially for the attendance issue. If we want to talk about medical financial history of a person or corporation or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation. And that is definitely the case here for not only the attendance, but the assisting and supporting committee board issue, which was talked about briefly at the bylaws committee meeting last night. So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could say the attendance issue, there's one person, I won't say who, that
Mhm.
could be brought for removal. At least one person, there's actually probably more, but and for what I've been able to review for the full board meeting minutes, it's only one person. We did have a resignation last night. It was Christina Contreras. She resigned last night.
Okay.
And then the other person, they happened to call the office yesterday and I picked up the phone. I spoke to them and I put them on notice. I can go ahead and draft the notice for next month, if that's helpful.
Yes.
If we have an
Yes.
executive board meeting for next month. Okay,
Okay. Yes.
all right. So other than that, I mean, to go into discuss the name, to give you a heads up on who it is, I think that should be discussed privately, not publicly. That should be done in executive session.
Yes. I
So,
agree.
so to do that, you have to make a motion to go into executive session. And again, the reason is, right, there's attendance, and also we want to talk about members of the public and how to deal
Right.
with
Exactly. So,
any
but I
issues
would,
that arise that way.
yeah, okay, what I would like to do is, I know people are here from the public, so, if there is anybody, I know it's going out of order because I know when you go into executive session, then people are sitting in the waiting room and, excuse me, I just wouldn't want that to happen. So if there's anybody, if I know I'm going, is it okay? And I'm asking that to properly ask the gallery session to speak before we go into executive session.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you and the board, the executive.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
Al, Veronica, you want to ask them?
It's a good idea, Bernadette, only because this way anybody on the, from the general public that wishes to leave after they've made their statement can do so. Otherwise, they have
Right.
to wait around till we're finished with the executive session.
Right, and I just, and okay, so because I just think that that would just be, a nice courtesy that we do for the public. So they did come into the meeting. So well, I'm not going to make a motion for the executive session, but what I do want to do is I'd like to allow the public to speak. And the only way I can do that is to know if your hands are up. I don't know if there's anybody that registered to speak. Because I didn't get those emails, but I'd like to know if, all right, so,
I don't think so. I think Harriet would have apprised me. Harriet, do you know if, I'll double check again right now, but I didn't see anything.
There was one person. I don't remember the
That's for
name.
the leadership committee.
Okay,
So
Okay.
no, I just checked right now. No.
okay.
So Oral was going to try to join remotely. He's obviously not here. So
Okay.
I don't know who wants to time, but at least 2
Oh.
minutes per person. And then if we need the extra time for the other people, we'll go around.
Okay, well, if I get to the right thing, I could time. I have no problem doing that.
Yeah.
Um,
Or Chris, Harriet, Chris, or you want one of us to do it? Ideally, it'd be Chris or Harriet because I'm juggling things here, especially with people walking into the office or attempting to walk into the office.
Okay, no, I could do it. I've got
Good.
2 minutes. I have 2 minutes on it. I will give a 30-second warning to anybody. So, okay, I know that Roxanne wants to speak last. So is there anybody else that would like to speak? Please put the hand symbol up. Okay, I don't see that anybody wants to speak. Okay, so, okay, I see Robert press up. So Robert, I think you can unmute yourself.
How's that? Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. Just speak up a little louder.
Okay, well, it's at the height of volume.
Oh, okay. That's just me. Sorry about that.
All right. You asked if anybody signed up, but the agenda only went up this morning. So it's less than 36 hours, so how could anybody have signed up?
Okay,
Uh,
so, but you're here, dude, if you want to say something. Thank you for that.
I'm wondering, obviously now Jeremy has said that he's in the board office or somebody is in the board office. So hopefully the 7 o'clock meeting will be on time. Now, once again, why are you going into executive session? Because board member absences has been discussed in the public and before.
And actually in
Okay.
leadership, yes.
Okay, so that should not be a reason for you to go into the executive committee. The second item is if you're going to be talking about the public, that's not a reason to go into the executive session either. That should be talked out in the public. Okay, because the public would like to know who you're talking about. So that's all I got to say right now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That was definitely under. Thank you, Bob. Okay, is there anybody else? If that's the case, then we'll go, then you're up, Roxanne.
Yes, I'd like a 30-second warning, please.
Sure.
And also might need additional time, but I thought I'll be granted. I recall when John Frater resigned or he left, retired, that instead of hiring a new person, you divided his salary among the remaining 3 staff members. And that has been the biggest mistake because that was driven by financial interests instead of community interests. And since then, from the committee board 11 staff members has deteriorated to the point that it's unbearable and has burdened people like myself who had to pick up the slack in notifying the committee of issues, organizing the committee of issues, and it has to stop. And I saw that in this fiscal year budget, they're going to give additional increase in the committee board budget. I would like this board to consider hiring additional staff, whether it's part-time or full-time, based on the financial costs, because this skeleton crew cannot deal with this task at hand. It is a disservice to the community. So,
All right. All right, I lost you, Roxanne.
When you're ready, Bernadette, I have a point of order.
Anthony, who was aware of the district manager's behavior, but unfortunately, he had to resign because of the district manager's complaints. This district manager is being very unprofessional, stirs a lot of problems just because he does not want to do his job. Instead of telling you that he can't do the job and perhaps provide him more help, he just retires and creates controversy and stirs problems for no reason. And I want this board to look at all the emails and either I have to send it to some agencies, which I've been sending to. There has to be some kind of accountability with this district manager. Does not be 2 years of minutes missing. And I brought that up. He didn't.
Okay, we can't hear you. You'll come back. You've got about a half a minute left. Okay.
Like
Well,
it's
when
no big deal. But obviously the road diet has been a big deal to the community. It's been a disaster to the community. This constant lack of due diligence, due care by this district manager, and him not delegating to his other staff member, he has this control where they have to go through him to answer any question or provide me with any information. This is why this board is dysfunctional. You have a staff. I'm not blaming the board members because they're all volunteers. So I'm not going to criticize volunteers. I'm going to criticize your staff, and especially this manager.
30 seconds.
He's the head of the staff, so the buck stops with him. So we either need additional staff or change of staff, but something has to be done because this is unbearable what's happening to this community, because the community board and the district manager is like, oh, it doesn't matter, we're just advisory, so it's no big deal, I forgot to do this, I forgot to do that. Oh, Roxanne, they get big deal, she just complains just to complain. He always negates the importance of this board. This board can have a lot of power to empower the community, to actually advocate for us. But he constantly dismissed the role of the community board, like, we're just advisory, it's no big deal. So what, I sent the advisory opinion 2 months later, no big deal. I mean, I'm tired of this. I am getting so tired of this. Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Roxanne.
So Bernadette, I want to make
Yes.
sure we're putting out correct information and not believing what's being told to us.
Okay,
So in that case, if you need me to, I can share my screen in which it shows the agenda for tonight was published at 5:54 p.m. last night, not this morning. If you want,
Okay.
I will share my screen to show you that.
yeah, share, yes, I'd like, do that.
Fine. Can everybody see can you see my screen, Bernadette?
Yep, I can. I think,
Read
I hope everybody else can.
Can you read it?
I can.
So see here, it says executive board,
Yep.
right? This is the agendas. If you look at the right top, it says agendas 223-03.
Okay.
Right here, time modified, March 15th, which I believe, to my knowledge, was yesterday. And
Yes, it
says
was.
5:54 p.m. Same for that. And 5:53 was leadership, right above it.
Okay, so that was a full 24 hours.
Yep.
Actually, yeah. A full
Or the
24 hours.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, thank you. You know,
Actually, that's incorrect, but you don't want to hear that. Actually, by open meeting law, you have to provide the location, whether it's physical or remote, 36 hours in advance, agenda 24 hours in advance. Therefore, when we have big meetings like the muni law, the transportation meeting, which I have to make
that was
flights
that was 24 hours in
for
advance.
agenda, but for the the details of the meeting, whether it's a physical location or remote location, must be provided within 36 hours in advance.
It's on the agenda. The
No,
agenda will
36
say it.
No, 36 hours, not 20. For the agenda is 24 hours. I
Right,
agree.
and the agenda has if it's remote or whatever,
But
so.
the remote location was provided 36 hours in advance.
Well, if anybody well, you know what? If anybody had any question, they should have thrown an email. Okay,
No,
I
but
mean, the agendas would put out, the agendas will let you know, we all know that. The agendas will let you know if it's hybrid or if it's remote. You could
No.
see.
No,
So
but you don't have the remote location. It changes per meeting.
the remote location, remote is remote. There's no location. It's gonna
The
be,
address, the link to go to the address, like going to a different address every day. The remote address is different for each meeting.
All right.
By-
So if we
I
have to
don't-
do it
wait, wait,
36
please,
hours in
I
advance,
don't
we'll
have
do it 36 hours in advance.
But
Okay.
this was required by open meeting law, and you should have known this. Why is it that I have to inform you? This is
you don't have
your-
to inform us. You could actually, be a positive thing and say, you know what? Instead of just every single time saying, oh, you didn't do this, you didn't do that.
But this is
You
not,
know,
not
there's
my
a lot
opinion.
going, there's a lot going on, Roxanne. Nobody can dispute that. Okay. Nobody can dispute that. And there's so much happening, and it would be so great to actually have somebody say, hey, 36 hours, whatever, to be a helpful thing. But
have provided him so much
it's a choice that your
I-
choice is not to
I
do
have
that.
provided him so much information which he ignores. And it's resentful the fact that he resents
I
that
don't
I'm
think
more
I
knowledgeable
don't
than
think
him.
it's ignored, Roxanne. I'm
It is.
sorry.
All my
I'm
emails are
sorry.
ignored. I have emails that have been ignored for months.
Roxanne, you send a
Ignore.
lot of Roxanne, you send a lot of emails. Okay, I get them.
No, the
You
email,
send
no,
a lot of emails.
all I sent you was 5 emails. It's the same subject. So I don't know why I said a lot. 5 emails is not a lot. And those were reporting issues where he does not provide me with the letter that I requested almost 3 weeks ago and that I was involved with. And he does it to be very spiteful. This is being unprofessional.
I don't think it's spiteful. I disagree with you with that. You have a right to your opinion, and I know that.
It
But
was already done.
I'm not in agreement with that, because then that allows you to take allows you to say, well, then I can, attack and do whatever I want because this is malicious.
So
You
you're
make a decision.
cracking. You're cracking in and out. You're going in and out. I can't hear you.
Oh, okay, can everybody else hear me?
No.
heard you fine.
No.
So I know you were going in and out on your end, Roxanne, so maybe I think
I
I'm
didn't hear
okay.
you.
My
Um,
it's just my point, Roxanne. I don't know if you can hear me. Okay.
Yes.
It's not, I know we make our own decisions about why somebody does something, but that also makes it okay for you to jump on stuff. It would be really great if we could say, hey, okay,
I'm sorry, but we're losing you. I'm not sure. I am. Seems to know that you were losing.
I
okay,
can hear
this-
you fine,
She's very
Bernadette.
loud. She's very fine.
okay,
Bernadette, you're very fine.
okay. All right. So thank you,
Madam
Roxanne.
Chair, Madam Chair, if
But
I
the
may
point
say
is that-
something.
One minute. Roxanne, just finish what you're saying.
I'm just saying that there's two sides, and every time I try to put my side, it's already negated because it seems like that this manager has the person's ear, but they don't look at the records, how he misbehaves and how much information I give him, but he's very resentful and very retaliatory. And this has started with a few years ago when I actually spoke against his race and said that they should hire another person, because the reason why I said that was because every time I would call him for something, he would, oh, I'm so busy. I'm the only one in the office. My staff doesn't help me. They're gone. They're always calling out sick. I'm the only one here. And so when John Fraude retired, I was like, wait, we need another person because they're always saying they're understaffed. and instead they decided to divvy up his pay, his salary, and that has been what really is the main problem, that you are understaffed. The second problem is that this manager is not professional and does not want to admit when he makes mistakes. He's very resentful when I point out all the mistakes.
Okay,
And these are not just, I forgot to put a period. These are like violating open meetings law, violating the city charter. And I would think he would be trained on this. It's not for me to train your district manager. And I have tried in the past, but I gave up because it's like going
Okay.
from one ear to another.
okay,
Thank you.
I'm gonna ask you for a timeout, okay? So just, I'm just gonna say, before, just,
Madam Chair, can I say
I know.
something about?
I would like to respond and then you can go, Bob,
Fine.
okay? Okay, Roxanne, you know, you've got a lot of good research. You've got a lot of focus, but a lot of times if the only thing that you could see is somebody's faults or what they're not giving you, and that's the reason, there's got to be a way to work together, and we're having a hard time with that. We're supposed to be fighting for our community. We're supposed to be getting to things. And if what you say is the only resolution, etc., you just got to work together a little bit better. Nobody wants to mute anybody or say that your thoughts are not, it's just in the way that if you're frustrated, I can understand. We all have our reasons to be frustrated. We'd be here for 10 hours. Okay. So I'm hearing what you're saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I'm hearing.
Yeah, but he delivered
Okay.
holds with information for me, does not provide minutes. This is not me asking for this. This is what is by
Okay,
mandate
time-
for the
I-
community. Thank
Time
you.
out. All right. Time
Got
out.
it,
Okay,
got it.
Bob. All right.
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
just wanted to correct my statement. The district manager is right that I did receive it yesterday evening. However, in the notice, it says that you have to have 36 hours to put in an application to speak. So that's why nobody's putting in any speaking time applications. They don't have the 36-hour notice. That's all I'm saying. Thank you.
Okay, that's why right now, obviously, we're overriding the 36-hour application, and we are asking if there is anybody that wants to speak. So, and we have to be flexible like that, right? Am I correct? And if not, then we have to be flexible.
I mean, I understand. I try to publish the agenda as soon as possible, but I can only do so much.
Okay.
The calendar does go up, right? It doesn't have the location or whatever. I'll look into that. You want to send me an email about that? Great. But it is there. So anybody, when the meeting is. I sent out the calendar at the beginning of the month.
Right. And and if there's an updated calendar, you send out an updated calendar, and you send it to the public.
And I get
which-
complaints. Does your board make you send every email every time you send an email like that? I get complaints, just so you're aware.
Well, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, if that's the case, then people could delete the email. I'd rather have too many emails than not enough.
Yeah, no, I know.
So,
I'm just saying there's two sides as we know, right?
Yeah. I got it from my executive board also, so I know. So, okay. All right, so let's move on because it's now 6:41 and we do have the leadership meeting. If there's nobody else that would like to speak, Bob, you got your hand up again. Did you want to say something else? No. Okay. All right. I'd like to make a motion to go into executive board session. What that means is that we are going to go into executive board session, and the public is going to be,
For what reason again, Madam Chair?
we just have some issues we need to talk about, that is privacy, that should not be shared with the public.
We're talking
Well,
so
state what
specifically.
is-
I stated already, but I'll restate it if
Yes.
that concerns you. When you are talking about matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person, or discussions regarding proposed, pending, or future litigation, which I would say also applies here, you have the right to close the meeting to the public.
Yes.
And we are talking about removal of particular persons, the potential removal of particular persons from
So
the
that-
committee board, meetings
So-
and the board itself.
Okay, and for us to do this, we need to go into executive session now because it's 6:42 or 6:41, 6:42 I have. And we do have to start the leadership meeting on time. So I would just like the public and thank the public for coming to this meeting, and thank for those who spoke. I just thought it would be better to hear from the public first, and I hope you take that with the courtesy that it came with. And Jeremy, if we could go into executive session, so we do have a few minutes to speak.
So you vote, so you made a motion. Veronica, Al, do you agree? You have to vote on it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I second it.
So Al, you're in favor? I couldn't tell.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop the recordings.
Jerry, you gonna need us around or?
Yeah, so the question is,